Greetings, this is Frosty Thundercrod. Today I'm going to talk about my plans for the early access of Monsters and Memories. If there isn't a role-playing server, I will be playing on a role-playing server. If there's not, I will be playing on a normal no-box server. So I was thinking about, what's going to be, the backstory and motivation of my characters. And I've got 7 of them now. So 7 characters with 8 slots. All right, well, let's start off here. We have Frosty the Ogre Beastmaster, Istorf, it's it's Sorf. Yeah, it's Sorf. According to Google, YT makes an it sound or an eat sound, so it can be either Itsorf or Eatsorf. A Goblin Shadow Knight, Balara, an Ogre Shaman, Dor, an Ogre Elementalist, Lino, Halfling Ranger, Tobus, Dwarven Enchanter, and Cecil, a Gnome Spellblade. Alright, so Frosty, Itzdorf, Balara, and Dor all grew up together. Here's what I'm going to go with. All 4 of these guys grew up together. Well, 2 guys, 2 girls. In orphanages. They were somewhat sponsored by the Church of the Mat's War, because nobody knows death quite as well as an orphan knows death. And even in Night Harbor, the ignoble races such as ogres and goblins, while tolerated, aren't exactly loved. So the more populist and bright churches aren't so eager to accept ogre, goblin, trolls, especially when there's lots of humans and halfling orphans to take care of as well. The Metz War, however, is a bit of an enigmatic church. They're not a good crusader church like some of the others pretend to be. They're tasked with caring for the dead. The Metz War himself is very unknown. He sometimes he's feared, he's hated. We're not even sure it's a he. We're not even sure the Metz War is a single entity. But Frosty and its Itzorf are basically the opposites of each other. Because Yitzorf is just Frosty spelled backwards. I know, very clever of me. I am so proud of myself for my cleverness. Frosty's very large. Yitzorf is very small. Frosty, of course, is male. Yitzorf is female. Frosty is all about the living beasts of the world. Yitzorf is all about the dead and the passing from the world. Balara is about the soul and the spirits of the world. Dor is the balance between the other 3. So, this is a good explanation for these 4. Then, these 3 down here, after Fratzi, Yusuf, Blar, and Doro, left the orphanage and started making their own way in the world, they met Gleno, Tobus, and Cecil. They're primarily crafters, artisans, with a little bit of adventuring on the side as to where Frosty, Yusuf, Blar, and Doro are primarily adventurers with a little bit of crafting on the side. So they got to know each other through meeting each other at job boards, taking quests, some training. They got to know each other, and the two groups kind of semi-formed into one large group. Gleno is a forager and a harvester. His main job is to wander the woods and the fields and the plains and gather materials. Cecil is the creative one. He's the one that takes the materials that Gleno gathers and turns them into useful items. Tobus is all about enhancing the items once they've been made. Frosty's all about the living, the beasts of the wild. Istuf's all about guiding souls onto the next world and about proper care of the dead, although he does use undead minions as needed. Balara, like I said, is all about the spirits, the soul, and guiding the soul into the world and out of the world. Cat just pulled my headset off my head. And then Doro, as an elementalist, is all about balance. And especially Frosty and Eustorf will tend to bicker if left on their own. But Doro provides a sense of balance and keeps all four of them in check and in line and in balance and continuity with each other as youngsters. And then later on, he became the contact and the unifying point between these four members of the Matsward Church and these artisans over here. So that's what I'm thinking. I just hope I explained this because it feels very clumsy when I speak it out loud, but feels a lot better in my head when I just think it. Thank you very much for watching.